Well, greetings and salutations to everybody out there in YouTube land. I'm your host once again, Dan Thornton. I want to thank you all today for joining us here, Lions Talk Live Morning Show Edition. And we're going to be examining everything with Brad Holmes as far as how does this guy find so many, I guess, mid to late round gems, steals, finds, whatever you want to say, and even what appears to be a growing number of undrafted free agent signings that are panning out the Detroit Lions way. But before we get into all that, I do want to throw a little something at you guys. So something I was working on, I was going to have it with the intro, but I also know that there's a little delay, so I wanted to wait a little bit before playing it. So, hey, it's just for fun. I get it's the downtime of the year, the off season, whatever. So let's have at this and see what you guys think. Be right back. All right, there you go. So things you work on in the evening when maybe you got nothing else going on. So hopefully you guys had a little fun with that. And I know I had a little bit of fun making it and finding ways to do that. So, all right. So with that out of the way, a couple things before we get into the meat of the show. If you haven't yet subscribed to Lions Talk Live, please consider doing so, making a push to get to 6,700 subs. And I want to say we're about, 70 away from that. Also, if you enjoy the content and this information within the videos, go ahead and hit that thumbs up button. Every video, try to get to 200 to 300 subs. So if you can help out, that would be great. Last but not least, just because I'm a working man and individual, if you're looking to buy or sell property anywhere in the great state of Michigan, shoot me a text, give me a call. You see the number on the screen, 269-998-2384. Can be anywhere in the state of Michigan, Detroit area, Ann Arbor area, Upper Peninsula, Lower Peninsula, Cadillac, Michigan, St. Joe, Michigan, Niles, Michigan, Kalamazoo, Michigan. You get it. Anywhere in the state of Michigan, I can work on your behest, try to save you some money while making the process of buying or selling property, whether it's a house, vacant land, commercial property, whatever it is, a whole lot easier. All right, welcome to Lions Talk Live. Let's start examining. As most of you probably saw, I put out a video yesterday about Ross, JJ Ross. It sounds like even yesterday, the coaches had more and more elevated status with him. They were trying to get hands on him more and more. You saw positional coaches work with him. You saw and not that these guys don't work with all the rookies or anybody at rookie mini camp, because to be fair, some of them aren't really rookies. They're just new to the team, etc. But the amount of attention Ross got clearly showed these coaches wanted to get as much detailed information about him as possible. They want to know all they could about him. So when he left rookie camp, he's an undrafted free agent who's now signed with Detroit. They feel like they've seen something there. At least that's my opinion based on me coaching. You don't take snaps and reps away from other people to give them to this person unless you have a reason to do so. And it would appear as a safety, the 6'3", 205, 210-pound Ross excelled, whereas a cornerback, maybe just doesn't quite have that burst, that speed. I promised you guys I'd watch some video on him. I did. I really like what I see out of him, especially when he's facing forward. So single high safety, I think he's pretty good. I think if you had him against a tight end, running back, things like that, he's going to be more than adequate. If you're talking a number 4, 5 receiver on a team's depth chart, he's probably also pretty good. I don't think he's got quite the bend in the hips and the explosion out of breaks to keep up with most NFL number 1s, 2s, or 3s. I mean, I think you're just setting him up for failure. I do think, just like I did with Jeff Okudah, if you move this guy to like a free safety, strong safety, etc., still allow him to play man-to-man coverage, still let him go out and do some things, come downhill and smash into things, I think he's pretty dang good, especially since you're considering him being a depth part that potentially, in the future could be something more than that. So that's what got me into today's discussion. Let's look at Brad Holmes and his draft classes, because I do believe J.J. Ross has a potential to be another one of those Brad Holmes, quote-unquote, steals, finds, whatever you got to say, gems. And now let's go through each of his draft classes. And let's take out anybody who's on a first or second round draft pick. You expect those guys to come in and play. But you look at Aleem McNeil, and I guess I should have put him in the thumbnail. Ife Melifanu, let's see, St. Brown, Derek Barnes. All those guys are third round, fourth round picks from the very first Brad Holmes draft. I'd ask all of you, are all those guys impactful players? So to me, if you're hitting on that many players, especially in the mid or late rounds, I mean, give a lot of props, give a lot of praise to the scouting department, to the coaches for developing them, and also Brad Holmes for making the selections. Now, let's go to the next draft. Now, again, taking out first or second rounders, so Kirby Joseph, I'd say most of us would say he's panned out pretty well. Malcolm Rodriguez, sixth rounder, starts, plays multiple positions, Swiss Army knife, whatever you want to say. And then James Houston, absolute find his rookie year. After that, I guess it's hard to really evaluate last year since he was injured so much. All right, let's go to last year's draft. Again, taking out the first and second rounders. Hendon Hooker, who knows? Broderick Martin, we're going to have to wait and see. Same with Corby Scoresdale and Antoine Green. Probably this year will be the year where you get an opportunity to really evaluate more of those guys. Now you look at this year's draft, and I get Giovanni Manu, Baki, Wingo, Mahogany. All of them are going to have to wait to see, but I think most of us would agree there's the real potential for a lot of these guys to end up being impactful players for the team. And now if you add on a Ross or a Williams, the receiver out of Illinois and such, I think there's a growing evidence, I guess we could say, the Detroit Lions, their coaching staff, their front office, keeps identifying talent that maybe everybody else has missed. Maybe there's a reason why somebody didn't go after him in the draft, or they didn't go higher, or whatever the case may be. But it seems clear to me at this point, we should all say, Brad Holmes, we trust. I get it, we do. But yet, when draft day comes, man, I don't know. I think this is a reach. They're doing it right. And that's what I think all Lions fans are going to have to start bracing for. Unlike the last 60-some years, this regime finds guys that maybe they're not fully ready to go in the NFL. Maybe they're out of position to play at the NFL standard. Sort of like Ross. I don't think he's ever going to be a true NFL corner, but as a safety who can cover, I think he could end up being something. Again, it's way too early on him, but the potential's there. All right, let's see what you guys have to say about all this. Michael, we got greetings and salutations, Coach of Duke Crew, ! One pride. Woo! There you go. JDC, good morning all. Good morning to you too. Bo, good morning, Duke Crew. Superdome or bust 1,000%. I agree with that. Good morning, Bo. Moonscar, good morning, Duke Crew! ! Starting lineup reporting for first team reps. Coach Dan, let's roar with pride. Always, and I like the way you're thinking, my friend. All right, Jesse, good morning, all. I'm pretty sure I have a case of the Mondays. There's an Office Space reference, but hey, power through it, my friend. That's all you can do. Brent, good morning, Coach and Duke Crew. Go Lions. Woo! 1,000%. Good morning there, Brent. Hopefully you're doing well. Moonscar at Jess, I get that at least once a week now. Only cure is Lions Talk Live. Hey, good thing for you. Lions Talk Live is available every day of the week. All right, shameless plug. All right, Phil, doobie 100%. And good morning to you, Phil. And hopefully having a do. Looks like you got a friend watching you read a paper or something. All right, Clark Griswold, greetings and salutations. Back at you. Hoogadoo, good morning, Coach. And the vast number of the Duke Crew! One pride. Do crew made the shine on you today. Grit. Yep. And you know what? I want to know this. I know somebody's probably going to ask. I want to say when I was scanning through the messages earlier, I saw something about it, but we got obviously the schedule release this week. Let me know how many primetime games you're anticipating the Detroit Lions are going to get this in this year's schedule. How many do you want to see on Wednesday when that schedule comes out? My guess is 5. Let's see what you guys have to say. All right, Clark, Holmes does seem to find success in mid to late rounds far more than any other general manager we've ever had. I would agree. Even the heyday during the 90s, I don't think they got him at nearly this rate. And again, going through the draft list, the results, in this year's draft class, I get wait and see. Last year, I mean, obviously the top 4 guys off the charts good. Now, can the next 4 guys be something? And that's where, if they really do that, man, you've got something. Hendon Hooker, I think most of us are just expecting, hey, can he be a sound backup in Detroit? If you do that, you probably hit there. Broderick Martin, I know the coaching staff's talked about it already with comparisons to Manu. He took somebody who's just a physically gifted individual, doesn't have the technique, doesn't have nearly the experience to play at this level. Now you're trying to add that to him to get that real diamond in the rough. Could be that it happens. Kobe Scoresdale, he had some moments he looked decent last year. He had some other moments where he got absolutely roasted. So can they balance that out? If you do, and if nothing else, he's just sound backup material for you, then you know what? That for a 5th round pick, that sounds about right. Antoine Green is the one that we could probably say, man, this kid could be something. He's got the speed. He's got some size. He could be something. But again, sort of like other guys we've talked about, he needs to be coached up a little bit in order to potentially do something at this level. A year prior to that, 2022, Hutchinson works it out. You know, Jameson clearly looks like he's working out. Joshua Pascal, you know, hey, he's been injured a lot. So this is probably, to be honest, a make or break season for him. But then you go to Kirby Joseph. Everybody thought he was a bust. Last year happened. Now everybody thinks he's pretty dang good. James Mitchell, he seems like he's destined to be a sound backup in Detroit. He's not going to supplant Sam Mitchell. I wouldn't anticipate. Malcolm Rodriguez, hey, Swiss Army knife all over the place. Starting linebacker his rookie year. Now just sound depth, etc. James Houston, you know, if he ends up being anything like he was during that last half of the season, his rookie year, then you've nailed a home run with that one, because getting a guy like that in the 6th round shouldn't happen. But yet, give props and praise, give credit to the Detroit Lions for finding someone like him. Chase Lucas isn't even with the team anymore, so he's the one drafted player, or maybe one of 2 drafted players that are no longer here. But let that sink in. In 4 years, only 2 drafted players are no longer with the team. That is very un-Detroit Lions-like. All right, then the first draft class. Hey, Panay, off the charts good. Levi Onwuzurike, the back issue is what it is. But last year, to be fair to him, in the limited amount of snaps he took, he did play very, very well. Lee McNeil, very good. Iffy, very good. Like I said, St. Brown, obviously, you know, just game changer. Derek Barnes, hey, made some plays, missed a few plays, but I think we're all going to remember the pick at the end of the Tampa Bay game in the playoffs. And then Jamar Jefferson. So pretty good draft status so far. Phil, Super Bowl or bust, 1,000% with that. Hatman, good morning, Dan and Duke crew. Let's get this week going. Woo! 100% with that. Yep. And yeah, I'll be going to the dentist probably today. Jen made me, some protein stuff. Bit into it. One of them cracked one of my mid molars, and I was like, wow. So no fault of hers or anything. It was just unfortunate thing. All right, Eddie, Big Eddie, what do you got? Greetings, salutations, Coach. Any more word on how rookie camp ended yesterday? Thoughts? Really, the only thing I got out of it, Eddie, I asked my buddies that were there to say, hey, what do you got for me? And they said everybody looked great. It's kind of end of the camp. So they're just kind of reviewing some stuff, going through some things. They all did agree, though, and not just the one who tipped me off to J.J. Ross, but they all agreed. This guy, you can see the coaches just gravitating towards him more and more. Do they think he's going to be a star in Detroit or a starter in Detroit? No, they're not doing that. They're saying that he's clearly moved up the depth chart. He's now a person, I guess you'd say, of interest when OTAs hit and then preseason training camp and all that. So pay attention to him. He's got some potential, it sounds like. And you know what? A guy with size, some athleticism, maybe just played out of position and or misused, whatever. But you can find something where somebody else missed it. That does seem like a Detroit thing nowadays. All right, 70. Good morning, boys. Good back at you. Hookadoo. Good morning, Steph. Dan, what do you got? Good morning, Coach. The biggest steal has to be St. Brown. Hands down, he's been one of the elite warriors in the league. And a woo to all this morning. Yeah, I would agree. Excuse me, I had to clear my throat. Yeah, I would have to agree. St. Brown, out of all the diamonds in the rough, he's got to be the number one because, I mean, he's an all-pro. He's got to be in the top 10 of wide receivers in the league. I'll let everybody debate where you put him in the rankings, but it's fair to say you found something that everybody else completely missed multiple times. All right, Stephanie, what do you got? Good morning, Hookadoo. Good morning to you both. Bo, are all the kids off and running? Could be. Just say, Kate, good morning, gang. Who's ready for the schedule release this week? That would be me and probably every Lions fan. It's the next big thing on the schedule, and we'll have it here. I want to say it's Wednesday afternoon. I think that sounds right. Brett, we get St. Brown in the 4th round, and the Bears grab a punter. Shake my head. Yes. Let Broski respond to that. All right. Yeah, man. Hey, Coach, I hear that Betts was making some noise at camp this week. I did hear that as well. Hold the receipts. I've been saying this all along that he was going to be a player to watch. 6 sacks this season. Just watch. Could be, especially where I think his strengths lie, where do fit in with a blitzing style team. I'm not so sure if he would be great in just a standard, hey, 4 down linemen, rush the quarterback, go get there. I just, at least to me, maybe I'd end up being proven wrong, but I'm just not sure he's sound with that. But if you're talking about a bunch of stunts and pulls, delayed blitzes, stuff like that, then I think he could help out exponentially. Stephanie, not yet, but bus is about 20 minutes from now. Fair enough. All right, Bo. Ray Guy was pretty good back in the day. Okay, I'll go with that. Hatman, good morning. JDC, LL, laughing out loud. Very good. Brett, Ray Guy was the man for years. Susan Scott, good morning, all. Back at you. Bo, I don't recall a kicker ever getting drafted that high again. No, probably not. Jason Hansen was what, 2nd rounder? Yeah, that sounds right. Wayne Font's era. Let's see, JDC, Hatman, laughing out loud. All right, Moonscar, Bo, Sebastian Janikowski, 1st round by the Raiders. None higher than that. Yeah, I do remember when the Raiders took him. And to be fair, they got, I don't even know, a decade out of him. He was perhaps the best leg in the NFL for a number of years. It's probably not ideal to take a kicker then, but at the same point, he was a weapon for them for a long time. All right, Brent. I was sure the Bears were going to grab another offensive lineman in the 4th round. Wrong again. Yes. Maybe they like what they got. I don't know. Bo, good call, Moonscar. There you go. Mike the Marine. Howdy, Dan Lions family. I love this family. Woo! 100%. I mean, it really has become a family. Everybody shows up here every morning. I get some people watch it delayed, work schedule, whatever, sleep schedules. But it really has. The Duke crew has grown into a family. I agree with that, Mike. Hookadoo, top of the morning, Gunny. There you go. Mike the Marine. Howdy, Duke. Howdy, Hookadoo. There you go. Frank the Tank from the east side. Woo! There you go. Detroit D, greetings and salutations, everyone, and back at you. Hatman, I believe that Peterson will take away the 3rd-string quarterback from Sutfield and eventually become the backup for the Lions. That kid has talent. Yeah, I didn't hear a ton, to be fair, about either one of the quarterbacks that came in this weekend. I heard they look good, not bad. I would say out of the little bit of tidbits I got that I'm with you. The GVSU kid did better from what it sounds like over day. So Peterson over day. Frank the Tank Lions got at least a lot of steals in the last 3 years. This is just the beginning. Lions are going to be awesome for years to come. Go Lions. I would agree. I don't see the Lions slowing down anytime soon. If you can keep drafting and having sustainable success at anywhere near the rate they are, I don't see anything slowing you down other than just, other teams also getting better, but you're going to supersede the vast majority of teams. All right, Rocky, good morning, Coach and Do Crew. Back at you. Brent Peterson has a legit shot at beating out Sudfield for sure. I would say so. Yeah, and it's no disrespect to Nate Sudfield. It's just I'm not really sure what his strengths are. We'll put it that way. Bo, who threw the picks in camp? All the quarterbacks did over time. It's just unavoidable. I don't think anybody looked great. I don't think anybody looked terrible. How many they're going to bring on over into actual training camp? Wait and see. All right, Moonscar. The counter. I counter that Hartman with the 1 point only. It would come down to whoever has a better understanding of the playbook and can help Goff's prepared versus opposing defenses. All right, I'll go with that. Fair enough. Moonscar Hetman, dang, it put the T next to the R. It happens, man. It happens. Rocky just signed Bates at the end of the UFL season and put a lid on it. Yeah, you're going to have so many teams trying to get that guy. There was the 1 week where he missed, whatever it was, 2 kicks, 3 kicks, something like that, outdoors, rainy conditions. But other than that, he's been money. And it's just hard to believe nobody snagged him up before. I mean, not in college, not in the pros so far. But, yeah, his time is here, it would appear. Jedi Sith, good morning. Do Crew, back at you. Frank, think biggest steal, St. Brown, Laporta, Branch, McNeil, Iffy. You can keep it going. Yeah, you keep it on going with the Lions. 100%. Yeah, they've done well in the drafts. Moonscar, good morning, Rocky. Jedi Sith music. There you go. Doug, if you are villains, are you paid to steal? Yeah, if you are villains, you are paid to steal. I'll go with that. Let's see. Steve Rogers, greetings and salutations. The captain is reporting. Well, good morning, Cap. Frank the Tank East Side. The biggest deal of Brad Holmes is Dan Campbell. Yeah, the biggest deal of the Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell. Yeah, go Lions. I'll go with that. Quentin, greetings, salutations. All what's good? Not too much, man. Just getting the week going. All right, Brent. Branch was one of my favorite steals because the Packers wanted him, just like they wanted Arnold. Brad Cook. Yes, he's trying to keep the Packers not on his Christmas card list. How about that? Or at least not on theirs. Doug. Sounds like Vaki has a heavy bulldozer, jetpacks, and a special teams terror. ALA Rodriguez was his first year. He can tackle is the key. Yes, he can. He can wrap up. He can hit. He goes downhill real well. So we'll see what he does in the long term. All right, Hatman at Moonscar. I get that. I just think that he has a much bigger upside. And watching him play in college, the kid is good. But you're right. It depends on how well he understands the playbook. 100% with that. Doug, number 73, Mahogany. We just got Jonah in the 3rd round, so we can replace him and learn from Hank this year. Our run game will be good for years. To go for years. 100%. That is his strength. Now, if they can just improve the pass protection, which should be a little bit easier because you can usually afford guards or interior offensive linemen a little bit more help. Yeah, it should be all right there. Jerome, good morning, Coach. Love the intro. Glad you liked it, man. I spent a little time on that, and hopefully it just, again, just trying to change things up from time to time, keep things fresh and funny. Tim Green, salutations to you and the crew. Back at you. Hookadoo. Oh, my gosh. Dan, I'm laughing my butt off. All right, very good. I'm glad you liked it. Ant-Man, love it, Dan. That's good. Bo, absolutely. Genius. There you go, Jason. There, I'll go with that. Brent, may the Lions be with you. So originally, when I was working on that, I was thinking I'd get it ready for earlier this month. May the 4th be with you, or the 5th. May the 5th be with you. But just didn't have it ready in time. Then got it mostly finished last night. I was like, let's go with it. So it might be a couple weeks late, but still enjoy it. Michael D, what do you got? Wow, great job. Thanks, man. Jason, intro of Destiny. There you go. I did reach out to Kurt Steele and said, hey, man, you got to watch, today's morning show just for that. And I don't know if he caught it or not, but you'll be able to watch it on replay, I'm sure. Thumbline, what do you got? Good morning, all. Hope as Lions fans, we can enjoy the time we are in. Just enjoy it and cheer for our team. This really is amazing. Thank you, Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell. 100% with that. JP, nice Star Wars parody. 100%. Yeah, working on that, man. Rocky M, that was a great Star Wars theme. Thanks for that, man. Mike the Marine, awesome. Use the grip force. Woo! There you go. Matthew Grace, greetings, salutations. Good morning, everyone. Super Bowl or bust! Exclamation point and woo! Back at you, Matthew. Hopefully, yes. Hopefully, it is Super Bowl or bust this season. Moonsgar, that was awesome. Glad he liked it. Let's see, Dave. Lions Trek T, boldly go where no team has gone before. Yes, correct. There we go. Robert Young, very cool. Obi Dan, there you go. Obi Dan Kenobi. One Funky. I'm Boba the Fett. My backpack has jets. I bounty hunt for Jabba the Hutt just to finance my jet. Hey, I'll go with that, man. Bo, insignificant compared to the power of the grit. There, I like the way you're doing that there. Frank the Tank. I am in my 51. So I grew up on Star Wars. Love Go Lions. Yeah, I remember still seeing the original Star Wars in the movie theater. I think I was like 4 years old. It was the Beacon movie theater on Portage Road in Kalamazoo, Michigan. It's no longer even there. It was right next to the airport. I remember waiting in lines for hours and hours and hours. And finally, my mom said, no mas. Anyway, I remember we finally gotten close enough to the theater that when people coming from the concession stand opened the doors to get back in the theater, I could see the screen. But we just said my mom got tired, so we went to the Douglas Drive-In that night. And I remember hiding in the back of the, what do you want to call it, the station wagon. So my mom didn't get charged for me because that was a thing back in the day, right? I'd say Doug had a chance to have Sean Alexander as assistant coach running the show, but miss MCDC. Hope he is okay. So somebody put it out there that they think it was just MCDC's one of his children was graduating from I want to say the University of Michigan, they said, and the ceremonies, all that stuff was this weekend. I have no idea if that's accurate or not. So if that was the case, though, I get why he was gone because, hey, you only get one chance of that stuff with your kids. So go enjoy it. So hopefully that was it. All right, Tim, I watched an Arnold first day highlights clip where he swiveled left to right and then back at speed. I almost broke an IP. There you go. I mean, he's got some stuff I think he'll clean up, but I do agree he's got some real good ability to recover. And, he showed some things in camp. There were a couple times it could have been better, but it's your first camp too. So expect some growing pains here and there. All right, David, good morning. All go Lions, 1,000%. Back at you, David. Good morning. Doug can use safeties more on special teams, according to Jeff Risen. Imagine JJ Rodriguez, Maben, Vaki covering kickoffs. Yeah. You're going to want people that can get past those blocks and get downfield in a hurry. The downside, if other teams go with a bigger, I guess you could say, power lineup blocking, if they get those hands on those shorter, quicker guys, they might be able to put them on the floor. So we'll see how everybody responds to it. There's going to be a lot of learning curve and opportunities on all this. All right, Rocky, NFL needs to expand the roster so we can keep all these gems, laughing out loud. And a woo for all the great Lions fans. There you go, Rock, and good morning. Frank, thank Dan loves James. Yes, I do love James Houston. Every show he's got to mention James Houston. I hope he breaks out, bro. Go Lions. Hey, I like his rarity, and I get he's got some weaknesses, but what he does well, it's hard to find someone who does it like that in the NFL. There's just not many guys that can do that. That's why I really say, hey, get him out there, hide his weaknesses, but play to his strengths as well. All right, Tim, when I watched Arnold running backwards and swiveled left and right and back, I almost broke a hip just thinking about trying to do that. Yeah, he's got some flexibility. He's got some bend. And like I think I mentioned it whenever I mentioned it in prior video, what I like about him is when he gets one and a half steps into his coverage, he's already at full speed, and it's hard for him to lose that. So when he changes directions, like he doesn't lose momentum or speed. He's able to maintain it. That's not something that you find very common in a cornerback. All right, or really any player. Brent, J.J. Ross sounds intriguing. Love a safety that can lay the wood. Yeah, a.k.a. a la Benny Blades. Yes. I won't put him in Blades category yet just because, obviously anybody who's a Lions fan, Benny Blades is the creme de la creme. I mean, he's legendary. What I will say is J.J. Ross, man, He's raised some eyebrows. He's got some people thinking. And maybe, once again, the Lions saw, hey, he might not be an NFL corner, but he might be an NFL safety. And that's where I think maybe other teams missed him. It's sort of like with Mahogany or whatever. Maybe teams didn't really appreciate, hey, he's already pretty dang good at run blocking. We need to help him be able to move the hips and things like that, the core section on his body, to be able to pass block better. But if you can do that, now you've got a real find as far as an interior offensive lineman. With Manu, people did not want to take him in the earlier rounds, as we know, because he is so raw in many different aspects of protection. But we can't teach what he does have. So that's where this regime really seems to be focused on. We get you can't do this, but here's what you can do, and we're going to do everything we can to highlight that. And that's perhaps, again, and maybe talking about St. Brown, teams might have looked at him and said, he can't do this or that, instead of focusing on what can he do real well. And maybe then he wouldn't have been such a late round find. Hold on a second. Had a sneeze. Sorry about that. All right, Brent, I think we get 5 primetime games this season. The NFL knows our Lions are a hot commodity. I would agree. I think they want us to be out there. I think people want to watch the Detroit Lions. Last year, I get one, especially when we were in the playoffs. I want to see what NBC had a demographic or a chart showing the Detroit Lions and everybody who's cheering for them and watching them, in different areas. And as the Lions won every round, you could see more and more of the country focusing on wanting to watch the Detroit Lions. Unless you were, a fan of the particular team we were playing, you were probably watching and cheering on the Detroit Lions. Amy, good morning. Dan and crew, back at you, Amy. Hopefully having a great one. Tim, 7 primetime games this season is what we will end up with. Man, 7 would be a ton. Maybe 5 originally scheduled, but we get 7 eventually. You might, that's a good point. Maybe they could flex 1 or 2 later in the year to us. So good point on that, Tim. Frank the Tank, 7 primetime games. This team is awesome. Go Lions. I'll go. And you know what? 7, maybe you guys are right, man. Maybe virtually we get somewhere near half of the schedule. And I get 7 isn't half, but you're starting to get close to 50% of your schedule being a primetime view. All right, Broski, last year, Dan Campbell missed part of preseason to see his daughter play in a volleyball tournament. Did he miss last weekend's rookie minicamp to help sell Girl Scout cookies? It is possible. And his presence would probably sell some more cookies. Could you imagine him coming up to you outside of, say, the Home Depot saying, hey, brother, I'm going to need you to buy all these cookies. And you probably would. So maybe that is why. Rocky, I was thinking 4 to 5 primetime games, leaning towards 4 at least. Yeah, I'm with you, Rock. I think they'll get at least 4. Bo, with Thin Mints, they'll go with that. Matthew, 6 games, including Thanksgiving, and last game of the year being changed last minute to prime. All right, I'll go with that. That would work and make sense. Tim, Bookings Bear, you be a bad troll for a Monday. There you go. See, Hookadoo, love me some Girl Scout cookies. Who doesn't, right? Who doesn't? Doug, Hooker, if we can give him some packages to develop during preseason, can you imagine breaking him out in the third quarter? Surprise 15-minute package. How would you plan for that? Kidding. Is it possible they're going to use Hooker to the regular season? Yes, it is. And you just have to wait and see what they end up doing. Rocky, what do you got? I remember when the Lions drafted local players in round 5 just to give give them a good feeling of being drafted. Wasted picks. No wonder rebuild was tough. Yes, and I think they do a lot of that, or did a lot of that, just to try to sell seats. All right, Moonscar, Broski, might have been another volleyball tournament. Might have been, man. Might have been. I'm looking for it right now until we hear otherwise. I'm going to go with one of his kids who was graduating from college. Michael, shine up that Vince Lombardi trophy up. Shine up that Vince Lombardi trophy up good, because it's coming to Detroit Lions this season. Woo! I'll go with that, Michael. And that would be awesome. Brent, I'm game for anything that changes our third quarter lull. Yeah, we got to get over that in a hurry. Michael, good morning, coach from Alabama. Good morning, and hopefully I'm an outstanding one there, Michael. Moonscar, cracked it a tooth. Yeah, we cracked the tooth. The tip of it towards the back. It was weird. Moonscar, cracked the tooth. Was she putting in those things? Yeah, that's the question. She felt so bad. I was like, man, what the heck just happened? Yeah, and I'm pretty sure I swallowed that part of the tooth too. Let's see, Jason, chance of finding a starter in the draft by rounds first, 63%. Second, 27. Third, 17. Fourth, 8. Clearly, Brad Holmes is our MVP. Did Superdome or bust? Exclamation point. I'll go with that, Jason. Yes, I think you're pointing out the statistical significance of what Brad Holmes and this regime is doing. Bo, roll pride, Michael. There you go. Amy, dentist, Dan, I used to hear them using a impact wrench to change me of the dentist. Ouch. May the numbness be with you. Woo! Well, I'm not in any pain. I just want to be clear, but I don't know what they'll do. We'll have to find out. They open at 8 o'clock, so after the show, I'll call them up and say, hey, when can you guys get me in? But hopefully it's not that big a deal. Thomas, what do you got? When we need Hendon to come out every third quarter, exclamation points. He is the change to our third quarter drought. Yeah, he could be, man. Yeah, go with the hooker package. They imagine on the promos for that. It's hooker time. All right, Doug, Baltimore Tire free agent. Tucker free agent. Yes, Baltimore Tucker free agent. There you go. Silver, Ray Guy was a punter. He was. Jason Henson in the third quarter. Second that. All right, fair enough. Jason Hendon. There you go. Let's see. Hookadoo. Morning, lady trucker. I was a dock worker for 30 years as a major trucking company. Go Lions. I'll go with that. Let's see. Ed, good morning, coach and crew. Good morning to you, Mr. Ed. Broski, Mike the Marine must have blocked me. I can't see his messages. Can you do that? I don't know if, man, I have no idea. I'm not that hip to the jibe, I guess, to know all the intricacies of the message base. Hallelujah BS. Okay, anyone know where we can find rookie mini camp video? I don't think the Lions have released much, if any. Yeah, I don't think they have, and I think they're trying to, for team security reasons, I guess you would say, you don't really want a ton of it out there because you don't want other teams starting to analyze already what you're doing. Just like I think I mentioned the other day with the new kickoff rules, reporters are banned across the league from reporting on anything they specifically see. They can't say which players are out there doing what or what formations are. They can only say, hey, I like what I saw. I don't like what I saw, stuff like that. All right, Okadoo Broski, if you didn't come in here and piss off Lions fans, you wouldn't have that. I didn't know you could block people. I really didn't know that. Bo, bidding war for Bates, yes, I would agree with that. I don't think Brad will pay a lot for him. No, and that's where I think it's starting to go out of our, Bates is starting to look like maybe somebody we're not going to go after, just because I think you're right, Bo. I just don't see us bidding a ton for him. That's the problem, because it's not everybody gets the kid's special. He's got talent, but how much is this regime going to use that talent? That's the problem. Now we've got the cap space, clearly. I don't know. I guess I could see it going either way. Just say, Brad Holmes saying, hey, it's another weapon to have. We may not always need it, but we have it. And me, as a coach, I'd rather have things I don't need than need things I don't have. That's the tough part. Hallelujah. Morning. New here. Well, hey, welcome to the Morning Dew crew. Glad to have you here, a part of this. Hey, look at this. We got a celebrity with us, a big timer. Speak Easy. Good morning. Good morning to you, Easy. Hopefully having a great one, man. Always a good dude to talk to, man. You guys ever get a chance to watch him on Woodward Sports? Hey, Easy's a good dude, man. I like him. I like hearing him in the heavyweights. All right, Rocky, good morning, Moonscar. There you go. Broski, Hookadoo, where was Dan Campbell last week? He may be Batman. Has anybody considered that? Dan Campbell could be Batman. He was out there fighting crime. I mean, in all seriousness, it sounds like one of his kids may have been graduating. That makes sense. Personal stuff. You only get one chance with your kids to do those kind of things. So I get that totally, if that's the case. Gary, good morning. All grit for life. Exclamation points. Rodrigo so far has been the biggest steal. Every time he is in there, he makes plays. I know he doesn't start, but he should over Barnes. Just your opinion? Yeah, I get that. And hey, he did start his rookie year. I'll trust the coaching staff that they're making the right calls. Clearly, Rodrigo, if nothing else, he gives you sound depth at linebacker. He can play some tight end. He can play some fullback. He plays special teams. It's impressive, all the different things he's growing to do as a player. And you know what? He's going to prolong his career because of it. Hoogadu, he said personal business. Correct. He did. Hatman, Broski, where were you? Where was your coach all last year? Oh boy, here we go. Merlot, what do you got? Do you think the NFL will expand 53-man roster to 55 and 47 for game day? I don't, at least not anytime soon. Could it happen? Should it happen? I would argue with you that I'm with you there that I think it should happen. That, man, just increase the rosters, let coaches make decisions who's going in and out. It'd be curious to find out what the NFL's logic is for still keeping it at 53, even though you've added more games to the schedule. Maybe somebody can win that debate. If I am the NFL, I am going to come back and say, hey, we've given you the practice squad, which we all know wasn't always there back in the day, but it's there now. Those guys, though, are unprotected. Somebody wants to snatch them, they can. All right, Michael, good morning, Dan. Good morning, Michael. Brent, NFL is way overdue to expand the 53-man roster for us, for sure. Excuse me. And they may someday, man. I'm just not sure. Moonscar, what up, Doe? Easy. Yeah, what up, Easy? Bo, morning, Easy. There you go. I figured it out. Michael, hoping Manu develops into something special and brings an international house of pancakes blocks to the Lions offensive line. Could happen, man. Totally could. I do think Manu is going to develop. Now, I'm going to stick to my guns and say, hey, you probably see more out of him his sophomore year and his junior than he will this year. It's just, I think he's way in over his head right now. As great as Frank Haley is, as much as I like Manu, everything I found about him so far, personality traits, etc., I think he's great. But man, when you do see video of him, his hand placement is all over the place. There just is zero consistency to it. His footwork, while he's mobile, it also, I do like his left leg when he's the left tackle, his first leap back, his first step back. I think he keeps real good space, and you watch his hips, how he expands them and keeps them wide. He does a good job with that when blocking rushers. But as far as now maneuvering and using leverage, he's getting by so far from what I've seen just on his God-given abilities. There's not much technique there. I think at this level, that would get your quarterback killed in a hurry. He's going to be able to probably, if it was like a short yardage situation, and you want to just, fall forward into people, I think he'll be okay with stuff like that. But I would be real careful not to damage his psyche, or any athlete's psyche, confidence, because it's hard to get it back. I'll stick to my guns and say the Detroit Lions destroyed Jeff Okudah. I think Jeff Okudah may never have been a star corner in this league. I think he could have been a star safety or hybrid safety / slot corner, sort of like a Branch or whatever. But they didn't do that to him. They let our injured player go out there and just slowly get destroyed and roasted more and more and more while injured. He lost his confidence, and some guys just never get it back. So I'm being real careful with some of these developmental players. Sir K, what do you got? What up, Doe Coach? I love the secondary football season. Can't come fast enough. Who do you think will be our cornerback 1 and 2? I'm going to go with Davis 1. As far as you're talking opening day, I'm going to go with Davis number 1, Arnold number 2, probably Branch number 3, which means you're probably putting in Iffy and Kirby as your starting safeties for opening day. Could be wrong. Could Robertson jump in there? Yeah, he could. Manuel Mosley, maybe if he's real healthy and he supersedes expectations, could he be in the top lineup? Sure. Rakestraw, well, I think he's probably the one with the best recovery on routes. So it's real hard to get open against him. He is glue on people. I'm just not sure he's quite physically ready to be a starting safety or corner in the NFL, just for the run support responsibility aspects of things. I think his body is going to need some development. We'll put that way. All right, Kay, what do you got? Or Key, what do you got? Heathy, happy Monday to you, Coach, and all the Duke crew! Exclamation points! Bang bang, Lions gang! So for fun. So with the Lions being supposed villains, which villain would we be? We show our WE show or anime. Hey, I don't know, man. Maybe I'll have to think on that one. But my favorite villain probably all time is probably Darth Vader. But I already called Brock Purdy Darth Purdy. So if you didn't see the Star Wars stuff, you'll have to hit the replay when the show's over and go back and check it out. Hopefully you guys all like that. Pat, woo! Woo! Morning, Coach. What did you think about the Lions rookie minicamp? To me, it's all going to be vanilla stuff there. You're not really going to be anything overly impressive. The only stuff that I could say that really grabbed my attention was the JJ Ross stuff. Just because the first day of minicamp, he's getting the run share of snaps, reps, and everything. But obviously, somewhere during that first portion of the day, the coaches said, "Nah, we need to see more of this kid." And they moved him up the snap counts. They moved him over to be with more and more of the big dogs, whatever you want to say. And you can see more and more of the different coaches coming over and talking to him, working with him. That, to me, as a coach, means we need to see you more. We see something here. This guy's got some potential. We need to get more hands on him. Now, that's the first day. The second day, he starts off with the big dogs, and he never leaves them. He stays with all the big targets that, the Arnolds, Rakestraws, etc., the big guns. So this means, to me, this is confirmation from a coaching standpoint. You now see this guy has some talent, and we need to do a deeper and deeper dive into it. He's got something we can't find elsewhere. And then the third day, this is confirmed to another level because he stays there. So, it's rookie camp. It's way too early stuff, but it's definitely stuff you need to put an asterisk on, stick 'em note or whatever, and just say, hey, when OTAs come here, where does he go from there? Because that's the next thing in front of him, then training camp. But he could be something. He's done enough, and the coaches have confirmed this just with their nonverbal communication skills, their choices in rookie camp to tell you, hey, JJ Ross might be a diamond in the rough that they've discovered. All right, Doug, what do you got? So are you affirming that JJ Ross, an invitee, actually signed a contract? I was just searching and no word on that. I don't know about contracts or anything like that at this point, Doug. I can just tell you, you're not moving him around the board like that in practices if you don't feel like you need to really spend some time looking at him. All right, Patrick, what do you got? DJ Dozer for the 91 Lions was a monster on special teams, correct? Other teams would put 2 or 3 people to block him, but he 99% of the time would make them look silly. Yeah, good memory there, man. Good memory there, Patrick. Broski, hey, man, you're funny. Hey, it's good to have some funny in the chat. Bo, third quarter champ, Unka Chuka. There you go. Anthony, good morning, Duke Crew. Back at you. Hopefully having a great one, Anthony. Hookadoo, good morning, Anthony. Key, what do you got? Do you think now that Hooker is fully healthy or should be by training camp that Dan Campbell tries to use him a lot like the Saints use Tyson Hill? Now the MCDC came from the New Orleans regime. I don't think so, just because I don't think he's a Tyson Hill type player. Maybe I'm way off base with that. I think he's a quarterback who can run. Tyson Hill is an athlete who can throw. That's my opinion. That's why Tyson Hill, unfortunately, is never really evolved into an NFL quarterback. I mean, he can throw the ball. He is so athletic. You do have to pay attention when he comes out of the backfield. But I don't think he's, at this point in his career, he's never going to be an NFL quarterback. Hooker, I mean, he's got mobility. He's got a rocket for an arm. Now, can he use all that to become an NFL quarterback? And when the opportunity presents itself, one who can get out and run around if the defense breaks down. Anthony, good morning. Hookadoo, good morning. Uncle Buzz, Harbaugh has his network of spies in every camp. Oh, every team does, every coach does. Everybody's paying attention to other guys. So even, and I don't know if JJ Ross has a contract or not, but let's assume he doesn't for a second. Then what's happened this weekend in rookie camp, that's going to be around the league. And somebody who needs a little bit more help in the secondary, they're probably going to try to bring him over if they can. Anthony, Dan was in Chicago doing your coach's wife. Oh, boy. Here we go. Dion, the Lions does have a couple. Yeah, a couple up. Yep, they do. They do have a couple up. Let's see. Anthony, now Broski, the Lions coach police. Yes, I'll agree with that. Extreme Shaft. Could you imagine being such a, oh, boy. Come on. Hey, let's be kind to each other here. Yeah, let's go. Let's be kind. Bo, I like having Broski here. He's obviously finds Lions Talk Live better than Bear Sites. This is also probably true. This is also true. Anthony, I agree, Shaft. All right. Moonscar Broski is Do Crew family. Yes, he is. He's just one that he's the one odd cousin who likes another team. It is, man. He is. He's the one uncle that everybody kind of gives the grief to, and the uncle that gives grief to everybody else. So go with that. Just keep it friendly in the chat. How about that? JDC, oh boy, here we go. Yes, that is a staple of my sayings there, JDC. Bo, and there they go. Yes, there they do go. Bad. We need a damn kicker. Bad, Brad. Bad, Coach. We do. I mean, Bansley, he's not great. He's not terrible. But that's the problem I have with him. He's neither so bad that you got to get rid of him, neither so good that you can trust him. So to me, if I'm Brad Holmes, if I'm really all in on this season, this is Super Bowl or bust or whatever you want to say, then I'm doing everything I can to get Jake Bates. Because you know what? It's one less chink in our armor, one less hole on the team. And this team does not have many holes, let's be honest. But if it comes down to Super Bowl or bust, we're in that playoff game, and we've got to hit a 50-plus yarder, I do not have confidence in Michael Badgley. And it's no disrespect for him. It's just looking at the raw data. Him over 50 yards is not great. And if that's what we're going to bank on in that clutch moment where maybe you either got to throw the Hail Mary or kick the 53-yard shot to win the game, who do you want out there? I'm going to say this right now. Jake Bates looks a whole lot better to me than anybody else we got an option for, so I'm all in on him. All right, Hatman, very well said, Moonscar. There you go. Sir Kate, I think we are doing a lot of rotation with our DBs. Yeah, I think we will. I think you'll see, guys, we're going to have a lot of depth, and that's where I agree with you, in the cornerback or the secondary positions. You're going to see guys rolling around back in there, in and out, just to keep them fresh and keep them healthy. All right, Oakadoo, that's pretty sad, Bo. I have to come to a Lions chat because Bears, well, Broski likes being here, and there's a lot of different reasons for it. I get he's a Bears fan. I get he's going to say some things Lions fans aren't going to like, but you know what? At the same time, it does add some comedic value at times. All right, Moonscar, in my real family, we are all Lions fans except the one odd cousin who's a 49ers fan that married a Vikings fan and whose sister married a Bears fan. Well, you got to keep it all covered, right? Don, ban the blankness. All right, we'll go with that, Don, and good morning to you. Don, Frank's Red Hot Sauce the Bears. There we go. Anthony, just ask your wife what a woman I am. What the heck? All right, Pat, pay the kicker Bates the money, give him a bag, Super Bowl. Woo! There we go. Bo, this woo is for you, Don. There you go. JDC, at Don Burr, what word will we replace the with? Yes. Sir K, I meant that I think that we're going to have a crazy rotation with our DBs. I think you're right about cornerbacks, but I think that our safeties play is where the question mark is. Who do you start? If it's me, oh boy, I'm probably starting Branch and Iffy if it was me. It's nothing against Kirby Joseph. I like Kirby Joseph. I just think out of everybody on the team, at least that I feel like I've got enough data on to fairly assess their coverage skills. Kirby Joseph, while he can cover well, he's also towards the bottom of the list. I just think if we're really going to run the system that I think we're going to run on defense, then he's going to have to play a lot more man-to-man. He can't play so much single high safety. There'll be times, and I will say this for Kirby Joseph, I think he is about the best on the team in single high safety coverage. But if he can't be out there for that, because we were just going with everybody in the secondary, just covering somebody person to person, he's also about the weakest. He's still good, but he's the weakest of the good, I guess I could say, as far as our man-to-man coverage responsibilities. He would have to be matched up with the other team's tight end or running back, and even then, I'm not going to say he's going to be over the top good at doing that. It's just not his wheelhouse. Iffy, he's very good at it. Branch is very good at it. I mean, then it just comes down to you to use Rakestraw as maybe a safety on those particular plays. Manuel Mosley. I mean, I don't know, man. Kendall Vildor, while we're all going to forever remember that face mask drop interception, let's be also fair to the guy. He made some plays, especially in the postseason, just not that play in the postseason. So I don't know, man. Take all of everything what I said and make of it as you will. All right, John, hello there. My name is John, and I'm new, but I've been watching this show forever. Well, welcome to the show, John. Hopefully you're enjoying the Do Crew, and hey, hop in whenever you can. Need bike capping with the Motor City Lions. Good morning, J.J. Ross, Isaiah Williams, Vaki as a gunner. We also signed wide receiver Caden Davis. Yeah, I saw that. I saw that we did sign him. Nate Lynn showed an amazing bend. Betts was beating Manu. Manu figured out how to be imposing without holding. There you go. I would say this with Manu. I would expect him to dominate just about any lineman out there just because whether he's been in the NFL or not, he's a 29-year-old professional football player. He should be able to beat the vast majority of rookies he faces. So when I got some of that news, I get that part, man. Ross is probably the most intriguing to me. Isaiah Williams, I think, is doing everything he can to make the Lions consider keeping him. Plus, he is a Swiss Army knife. He can do some special teams. He can be a quarterback number 3, perhaps, for this team. So he could help out with the roster in that regard. So he's real intriguing to me. Don, JDC, good morning. There you go. JDC, peace. Kneecaps, good morning. Don Bird, Trumps, Burp. All right, there you go. Let's see. Hookadoo, welcome in, John. There you go. Don Burr, Jeremy, kneecap biting, good morning, sir. Trump's Don Burp. There you go. Broski, Anthony, you're going too much. I'm here for legit football convo, not your person that says grow up. But yeah, let's keep it friendly, guys. Keep it friendly. All right, Kneecap, been a great road so far. Hope you all enjoy my input. Hey, keep on coming, man. Trump's, woo! There you go. Don Burp, band the woo! There you go. JDC, Cherry Point. Sorry, there you go. Let's see. Broski Bears. I'm not sure what that means. Broski Moscar Blade. There you go. Pat, let's see. Ross never got signed. He was a tryout. Yeah, he was, man. At least, like I said, I don't know if he was signed or not. So tryout. Let's see where it goes from there. Kneecap biting with the Motor City. The only side I said signed, only one I said signed was Caden Davis. There you go. Lions talk with the bad guy, John Kapler. Jamos, but better step up and do some push-ups and gain some muscle weight so he can fight for the ball and also catch the ball with his hands more, not the gut and chest. Very good. Kneecap biting with Motor City Lions. Rakestraw finally looks healed from his core muscle injury, showing better hip swivel and change of direction skills than he did just last season. Only played the slot. There you go. Sarah Kate, I think Iffy is better than Kirby. I would agree. In coverage skills, in man-to-man coverage skills, I agree. Moonscar, Broski Bear, Finger Red, number 1. All right. Shay C, what do you got? Whoa. New hair color cut on Dan the Man. All right. Whole new haircut. Yes. I probably just didn't do my hair today, man. Sorry about that. I just woke up and got going with the show. And Fields, we got Super Bowl. I'll go with that. Broski, we'll have more to talk about when schedules come out. Agreed. That will be the next big thing. Was Isaiah what Isaiah was doing on special teams was what everyone was impressed with. Yeah, and I get they can't reveal what's going on there, but we'll see once the season gets around. Mike Kip, good morning, Dan and Duke Crew. Hutch Jr. checking in and reporting. Good morning to you, Mike. Huskar, the force is strong in this offseason. Blue Kool-Aid, may the force be with us always. Yes, I concurred. John, can't wait until it's all this over the season starts. Yeah, can't wait until this is all over the season starts. Yes, concurred. Bo, all done and dusted. See y'all tomorrow. There you go. Mike Kip, Ravens and Chiefs are opening night. There we go. All right, guys, I'm going to go wrap it up. It's been an hour. If you didn't get to check out the start of the show with the Star Wars thing, the intro for about a minute and a half, go ahead and check it out. Hopefully you all have some fun with that. I had fun making it. I got to try to find some more stuff like that during the off season just to, add something to the show. If you haven't yet subscribed to Lions Talk Live, please consider doing so. We're about 60 subs away from hitting 6,700. So you can help out that. That'd be great. If you would, hit the thumbs up or the like button, whatever you want to call it. Try to get about 200 to 300 thumbs up every show. Helps the channel grow. If there's some breaking news, I'll get it to you later today. Otherwise, take care. Enjoy the rest of your day. And we'll see you all in the next Lions Talk Live. Take care, everybody.